Okay, that's going in too. Hi guys, Matt here for Photo News and Reviews. You probably saw the videos I did yesterday on three-legged thing, Frank and Brian. I thank you to the viewers who asked me to stop by. That was actually the first time I'd seen them, and getting to chat to Danny, who's actually the founder of the company. I wanted to introduce him to you guys and let you hear a little bit about the company. So, hi Danny, this is all very formal.
Did you tell them what you did?
What do you mean?
When you videoed us for an hour yesterday, but hit the mute button. Yeah. That's like shooting the Zabrudda film and leaving the lens cap on. It's like, oh, is President Kennedy get his head blown? Oh, lens cap.
We were really funny, and we actually, I think we were handsomer yesterday as well.
I was better looking yesterday, yeah, definitely. Cologne hit me last night.
Yes, so sorry about that. So 2 years making tripods in the third generation already. That's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. How can you innovate so quickly when, well, others can't, basically? I think others can.
I think the biggest issue with massive corporate structures are that there's just so much bureaucracy. I mean, I don't know. I've never worked for another tripod company, but from what I've heard from some of the guys that do work for the other companies, that they come up with an idea and then it has to pass up the chain and somebody else has to tick a box and it gets sent back down again and changed. And we actually just are a bit more balls out, you know. There's only 5 of us, so we kind of sit, chat about things. We have we have days where we literally just switch off the phones and just sit in a room coming up with ideas, or exploiting ideas we've already had. And we do let them float about for a little while. We're not, you know, just we don't just go, all right, let's just do it. But we do try. We try a lot of things that you don't ever see. Yeah, our engineers get really stressed with us because we kind of sit down with them sometimes and say, we want to do this, and they go, it's not possible. But because none of us have got an engineering background, we just don't have those kind of constraints of the education. You know, we're like, physics doesn't matter, we can just do it. And then about 1 in every 20 ideas, the engineers go, oh, it actually worked. And we're like, cool. And that's when the product hits. So we do tend to move quite quick. I mean, it's months, it's still months, but it's it does feel like we're moving slightly quicker. But
so your quick release plates now are Black Rapid compatible, yeah?
Yeah, from our 2nd gen. So we're on the...
They're saying that they're looking for a kind of chubby guy in a black t-shirt with heavy glasses.
Did you just call me kind of chubby?
I was talking about myself. Insecure.
It's my mum.
Oh, g'day. Haven't seen her in months. Yeah, so Black Rapid.
Yeah, Jess and I sat down with Ron Henry, this is the owner of Black Rapid, about 18 months ago in Barcelona. And they'd been trying to create an Arca plate that fit their straps. So Ron said, do you guys want to have a go? Took us about 1 hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, we just, to be honest with you, I just got a step drill, just, yeah, that fits. So, yeah, no, we put that, I mean, we've always had a great relationship with Black Rapid, so we...
So yours are Arca plate compatible as well?
Everything we do is Arca. We only do the Arca plate 52mm standard.
Okay.
Only because I saw you mention on one of the reviews the quick release, we actually don't do quick release, it's all Arca plate because it takes about 5 seconds to undo our head, and that's the price you pay for absolute security. You know, you're using a Nikon D4, what did that cost you? $6,000?
Something like that.
Yeah. Why would you want to quick release that and accidentally drop it? So we only use the Arca system, and we're actually the first people to bring out a compact system Arca plate.
Okay, for Micro Four Thirds?
Yeah, straight in front of you.
This little guy?
No, not that one. One next to it, in the blue. There you go.
It's not that compact. Okay, but that's still Arca compliant.
It's 52mm across here, and this is only 30mm. So, Sean, have you got your EP3 here?
So how does that work? Do you need to get invited by Black Rapid to make them compatible, or you just drill it so it fits? Full stop.
Well, this one isn't because because it's such a small plate. We can't get the screw around.
Well, I mean, like the big ones, because there's big companies out there. Are they just resistant, or they don't have permission?
What it is, Black Rapid, they make the FRT1 screw, which they made for the Manfrotto 602 tripod. But I think they had some issues because Manfrotto kept changing the design. So we just made all of our plates compatible with their screw, like a retrofit. so it doesn't, so it's not a problem. And we're always going to have that design. I'm not going to bring out different plates. We've got different size plates, but they're all 52mm standard Arca.
Okay, on the bottom, yeah.
And that's so the difference between using that and a normal plate is that you're not
Just
bumping
flush.
your chin on.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, good one. Love them. Very pretty. So with your couple of month design process instead of couple of years, how's it start? You said you're not sort of constrained by reality, but is it always starting with, like I know you guys started initially because you needed to build a rig that would let you shoot tethered and have a laptop and stuff. Is it still, we can't do this, here's a problem, let's find a solution, or are you just sort of tweaking things, or how's the process start?
No, I mean, that kind of happens. Last year, actually, when the royal wedding happened, we got a phone call from an AFP pro called Leon Neal, big press photographer in the UK, and he said, look, we're on the Queen Victoria Memorial shooting straight across to Buck Palace. What can you guys sort out for me? And I just said to him, so what's the deal? And he had like 80 centimetres footprint, which cost 48 grand, right?
Jesus.
Yeah, that's pounds as well. So yeah, we're talking about $65,000. And he has to get the shot. I mean, that's the deal. So we set him up a rig that had a beam on it. So he ran he was running two Nikon D3Ss, one 600 f4 lens, one 300 f2.8. And everybody else was running 600 f4s because of the distance to the balcony. But he just rigged them up with pocket wizards, I think, between the two. And as a result of that, as he was shooting on the 600 f4, the 300 was getting the wider balcony shot, and of course that's the one that hit every paper across the world.
Yeah, right.
So.
Okay, so you built that custom.
Yeah.
So you guys have stuff laying around the office and the skills to actually do that kind of thing? Not
really. We do have some stuff, and we had some bits and pieces that we kind of bastardised and put them together to make what we needed. And then I spoke to our engineers and said, do me a favour, do a better job of that. Mm-hmm. And they did. And it's actually a product we haven't launched yet, and we're going to do it. But it was with one of our earlier 32mm prototypes. We got a tripod called the X3 Jimmy.
Okay.
Which we've never launched yet, and we're waiting because we want to just do it in order. We don't want to just flood the market with 50 tripods. That's a be a pointless exercise and actually very confusing for the consumer. So we've done a 26mm range. We're just launching the 29s. That's why we're here. The next stage will be the 32s, and that's when you'll see Jimmy, and that's when you'll see the beam, and you'll see the tethering platform, and you'll see all the other bits.
So finally, the one that you started with.
It wasn't the one we started it with, but it certainly was the first. It was the first significant. Ta-da! It was the first significant step, like breakthrough in terms of technology for a specific purpose. And actually, what we used to find with some of the earlier designs is we'd design something, and then after we had it and we'd test it, we'd find different uses for it. And we'd go, oh, that's useful. So then we'd go, right, this is why it's like this, because we can use it for that. And we were kind of almost retrospectively applying reasons for doing certain things. We're now in a much more refined process whereby we go, right, what do we need? Like this little bad boy you've got here. We realised that actually, both Jess and Sean use the little Olympus CP3s. I know Zig's got a little Canon thing, and loads of people we know have got these little compact system cameras, and they both bought theirs because they don't want to lug around a D3 or whatever. So we said, well, one of the biggest issues with that is that nobody carries a tripod if they're carrying one of these, because the point of having it was so that they didn't have to carry a big amount of gear. So then we went, right, what can we do to make, apart from these little tabletop tripods, which are just about useless. So we thought, let's make a tripod that is specifically designed for compact system users. It's under 1 kilo. It will hold, the tripod will hold 12 kilos, the head will hold 30. It's just what we call a 2x2. It's 2-section legs, 2-section column. It's the same versatility as all of our other tripods, but it will fold up to the size of a 70 to 200mm lens. Okay. And you said 12 kilos, so all the weight rating is just based on how fat the legs is? No, because actually most of our 26mm tripods we rate to 8 kilos. I mean, we've tested them with like 40 and 50 kilos, but in order to, you have to, I apologise for this, but you have to factor in the idiot factor. And there's always somebody that will just do something stupid with your tripod and damage their gear. So we rate it, we're sensible about it. 8 kilos is a 600 f4 and a D4. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much the heaviest rig you're ever going to need on a tripod like this. But this, because he's only 2 sections and he's so
Can you
small.
imagine someone shooting with that?
Well, you could. I mean, you actually could. Because he's only 2 sections and he's so much small, he's that much more rigid and therefore that much more capable.
Yeah.
So he's rated at 12. The heads with just new mechanisms, I mean, 30 kilos on that, 35 on the AH1, 40 on the AH2. Mm-hmm. I've got a picture of my Volvo parked on 4 of them.
Volvo.
Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? So you get to nearly 40 and you buy a Volvo.
Yeah, right. Well, living the high life.
Wait till you sprout kids, mate. It'll happen to you.
Oh, is it a four-wheel drive as well?
4-wheel drive, yeah.
In
Chelsea
case you
tractor.
in case you got some puddles on the
We
street.
work on a farm.
Oh,
People do say that to us, but our office is in a chicken shed on a farm in the North Bedfordshire countryside. You didn't know that?
oh no! Someone.
That's why the chicken thing's on the front.
Okay, yeah. Someone, one of my viewers actually mentioned the chicken shed. Something I thought that must be a product.
No. We actually
Chicken
work
shed.
in a
So
chicken
you're
shed.
the chicken shed crew.
You go
Okay.
if you go into our warehouse, all of the eaves have got wind down like ropes and for the chickens.
Okay. Free range though.
I don't know. We moved in several years after the chickens left.
But you don't buy Jess or anything. She just
We'd
come and go as she likes.
We still get people that just turn up, like just come into the office and go,
Legs.
yeah. Like there's a whole room full of tripods. They don't lay eggs.
Right. Back to the tripod. So with the styling, like, was that kind of you get the design right and then just add all the little details, or what? Because
No, the details came first. No, in terms of the actual detailing, because once we know, the thing is, all of our you'll see all of our tripods have exactly the same design details. So the leg catches, the mechanisms, the 3 steps, 23 degree, 55, 80 on all of them. They all counterfold. They all have the same friction locks, and our tubing's all in 3mm increments. So on like on the 29s, on Frank, for example, it goes 29, 26, 23. These 3 sections. On Eddie, who's a 5-section, 29, 26, 23, 20, 17. On Brian, he goes 26, 23, 20, 17, 14. Mm-hmm. So everything's in 3mm increments, so we can use the same tube in the same moulds, or certainly parts of the same moulds.
yeah, right.
So that's it's all equal across the range. And we just one of the really early issues that we had is when we came out, everyone was like, "Oh, just another rebrand." People were saying we were rebranded Benray, we were rebranded Giottos, we were rebranded, 10 other
I guess
companies.
there's a lot of rebranded tripods out there. People
Yeah.
look for it now.
I mean, and we expected that. It's inevitable. You're a new company. People are more cynical. We're an English company, and we are manufacturing most of our products in China at the minute. We're doing some of them in England, but so yeah, there's a lot. And people are going, "Oh, the counterfold design. It must be the Giotto's Vitruvian," and then we remind them, and actually, the Gitzo Traveller did that in 1983, and So it's yeah. So we just went, do you know what, with the second gen, which was the incarnation before that.
Yeah.
Let's just make sure that people know this is us. Mm-hmm. Because that's not rebrand. I mean, that's why would I take somebody else's leg catch and then remachine it? I might as well just make my own. It doesn't make any sense. So it's and with some of the technologies and the capabilities, we are way beyond some of the other companies out there. So
Okay. And tell us about the colours. Jess was actually saying they're natural Pantones.
yeah, it's not accidental. I mean, when we first launched the first gen, we did a range of different colours, and a couple of which were just colours that we wanted to put out there. But most of them we'd actually peeled in colours that appeared. We basically picked out like a whole photo library of nature shots, and we just digitally checked which colours appeared most often throughout those images, because it seemed obvious from minute one that black was what everybody else did, and in order to make ourselves stand out, initially certainly, we would have to go down a route that made people notice the brand. But we didn't want to just be gaudy and bling about it and just, let's pick a colour. And funny enough, 6 months after we launched, I went to a trade show in Shanghai, and there was a hall full of tripod companies, all with these bright colours, and no idea why they'd done it. So what we've done is we honed that range down, we took it back. Our second gen was like what we called a burnished gold or sort of warm titanium colour. The third gen, we've actually gone darker than that now. We've gone more into a bronze.
Yeah.
Again, it's just, I think it actually just looks a bit classier. The blue, one of our early reviews, somebody was like, "Blue, that's ridiculous. I want to photograph, birds and wildlife, and that will stand out a mile." I'm like, "Yeah, like the sky does." or the ocean. You know, two of the largest blue things. 2/3 of our planet is that colour, and that's kind of the reasons behind it. The copper's less seen in nature, but certainly during the autumn times. And actually, I mean, that's obviously the boldest part, the top there. But of course, your camera's on top of that. So actually, really, this little dress line and the sides here, you don't see very much.
Yeah, beautiful. So, what about the built-in monopod? What's the go with that? Aren't you meant to make people pay for every extra little thing? You're not a good salesman.
Actually, when on the production run of this, it's not going to have the built-in monopod because it's going to be pointless to have a monopod this big. We did it because we already have the components. No,
but
I mean,
like the big ones, say Frank, you got a almost full-size monopod in there.
Well, actually, again, we thank Gitzo for that. When they did it first on the Traveller, I think it was '83. They did this screw-off monopod, and everybody went, "Wow, what a product!" And then, of course, the patent expired, and everybody started to do it. And it was always the travel tripods, the Benmo Travel Angel, the Jutter's Vitruvian, and all the little ones that they were bringing out, like this screw-off monopod. And we just sort of sat down and went, "Well, why are they only doing it on travel tripods?" Because the carbon doesn't weigh anything. I mean, it's, even on Frank, the 29mm, you screw off the monopod on that, and it only weighs 212 grams. So it didn't make sense not to do it. And actually, as we've said from minute one, we don't make tripods. We make tripod systems. And what we want people to do is buy into our system for life. It's not. I don't want people buying a product, and this is the reason we set the brand up. But I don't want people buying a product and then 2 years later going, I need it for a specific purpose, and it doesn't do that, and I have to buy another product. We want people to buy a product that will cover just about every eventuality. I mean, there are some niche products which we will have to bring out for specific purposes. But you get Brian, and as you did in the review, you can use it as a monopod, but with a stabilised triangular platform. You can use it for inverted for doing macro with a huge amount of space underneath it. If you extend the column downwards, you can use it as a travel tripod. You can use it as a normal tripod because, as you said, it will hold a 600 f4 and a D4. So we've tried to make it as systematic as we can, and all the components are modular. So you can take components off of other tripods, put onto our tripod, or in between the tripods. You can buy extra nets, so you can just screw them together and those kind of things. And we're going to bring out a Steadicam attachment, like a gimbal. Unscrew the monopod, clip onto that. You've got a Steadicam bit, so you haven't got to go and spend 600 quid on the Steadicam. You can just buy the adapter kit, the conversion kit for your existing tripod.
Okay. Well,
we have got 2 monopods coming out, specific monopods for people that specifically want to, like Leon Neal, because when he does all the football matches and Wimbledon and things like that, he likes to have a monopod. That's just how he likes to shoot. So we're doing specific monopods. One that's 5-section carbon that folds up to about this big, so it's really small and good for travelling, and one that's 3-section, bigger and a bit burlier.
Okay. And last one, the finish on them is so smooth. Is that something that you have it finished off yourself, or is it that when they're not this smooth, they've had something done to them? Do you know what I mean?
Are you asking if I finish myself off?
Wait, just assume. You're on the road a lot.
No, I mean, I think the most important thing about any product, especially, if you're buying a product for life.
Sehr geehrte Besucher und Aussteller, es ist 10 Uhr und wir begrüßen
It always
Sie
sounds
herzlich
dirty.
zur Fotokina 2012.
I love
Wir wünschen Ihnen einen schönen Abend.
You love
I
it.
love the German accent, yeah. Like, they could be saying things that are really soft, but it sounds like they want to punch each other. They are. It's,
Can you believe it? After the first time I muted it, the second time, for some reason, the camera stopped recording, and that's all I got. Unbelievable. There was still 6 minutes of recording time, so I don't know what happened. We hugged, we danced, we laughed, we cried, we talked more about the company, and I also announced that there's going to be a 3-legged thing tripod up for grabs in upcoming competitions. So lots of great news. Sorry, I just couldn't ask Danny to do this a third frickin' time after I screwed it up twice. So hope you enjoyed that. Please click the sub, click the like, share it around. I'll see you soon.